Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 18 of the Living an Authentic Life Challenge. I am Tanya E, and today, on this 30-day Authentic Life Challenge, we will be discussing intimacy. People often associate intimacy with sex. When I spoke with you last, I shared with you that intimacy is simply a closeness between two individuals on various levels. But when you only associate intimacy with sex, you have a tendency to objectify it and use it as a tool, which makes it evil. Money is often thought of the same way as evil, but that's not true. Money is simply a tool, and if you feel you need it or deserve it, you will use it any way you desire because all you see is a tool, and the combination of the two causes mass destruction. That is why often when you have sexual indiscretions, it causes you to lose your wealth, your health, and your reputation. So let's have a different thought process associated with intimacy because it is drawn to just bring you closer. When God created sex, it was a gift between a husband and a wife. And over time, it has been morphed and thought of in various ways because often people think of the Bible as some antiquated book that has absolutely no bearing on how I live today. But there's a reason why the Bible has often been shared as the living word, because it has application that sits right in the midst of where you are and the moment that you exist, because it has basic principles. And principles, like I've shared previously, last forever. So when I was growing up, I wasn't taught much about intimacy, but I was taught about a basic principle associated with sex. What I learned was sex, because God created it as a gift for a husband and a wife, is the glue that ties two souls together. And if you decide to use that in a whole different element and not use intimacy as sort of the foundation to just bring you closer, then it can be objectified and used as a tool any way anybody desires. And it causes hurt and pain. Because for me personally, when my grandmother told me that if I had sex, I was tying my soul to somebody else, I couldn't see doing that because I didn't want to share a donut. So why would I share my soul? But if you think about intimacy, it's just a closeness. And the closeness is what we're often looking for. The closeness is what we're seeking. Those moments when you have the long talks on the phone, when you sit with someone and just watch the beauty of a sunset, when you take the time and just sit in the presence of someone that you admire. It has nothing to do with sex, but it is a closeness that begins to bond you. And as I think more about the closeness of intimacy, for me, it's a representation for me with the closest person to me right now, which is my husband, because he is a physical manifestation of God's love for me. He is oftentimes my angel that God allowed to just be present so I can have a moment. And there are opportunities that I see God show up because before I started dating Eric, I was dating God. And there are small things that he does on occasions that only God and I did when we were dating together that Eric knew nothing about because he wasn't even here. But God was teaching me intimacy. And so, day 18, you want to get a different perspective of intimacy. Follow me over to Authentic Life Challenge Facebook group. We'll be there till 7, having a deeper conversation about this. And before I leave, I want to share with you a song that has often given me just a thought of intimacy. And I'm playing it from my phone. So you guys are going to have to wait for a minute because you know when you let your phone sit still, it puts the lock back on. Okay. Listen. I love that song. So with that, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.